Hey everyone, this is Benjamin here from the African Geek, and you are welcome to this fantastic tutorial inside of Canva. Today we are going to be designing what you see on my screen from scratch. So if this is something you want to learn how to create, stay tuned and I will be right back after the intro. Alright, so here we are, and we are not in Canva yet. I just want to say that thank you so much for taking the time to always stick with me. By Because of you, I have been able to hit 5,000 subscribers, and I do not take this for granted at all. I just want to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you to you. Alright, so here we are in Canva, and before I even get started, all you need to do is click on create a design and choose the Instagram dimension, which is 1080 by 1080. Once you do that, you should get a blank canvas like this, okay? And you can see I already added the photo here and I removed the background. This was the original photo and I did that. So the first thing you need to do is to get a photo of anyone at all you want to use with the folded arms or doing anything, and just remove the background. Okay, so as I've done this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add an image. So I come still in photos, I just search for abstract, okay, abstract, and just hit on enter. You should find some cool abstract designs over here, so you can just go through and just choose anyone at all you prefer. Okay, so I'm simply going to use let me just choose this one. Normally there are some abstract shapes, sorry, photos with a lot of shapes, and those are the type of one I wish I could get, but this is what I found. So let me just choose. It looks like my click didn't even work well. Okay, so let me just scroll up and choose this image. Okay, so you can see we have this image here. I can right click, set the image as background. Okay, and this is what we have at the moment. Then I press R on my keyboard for rectangle. Okay, then I position it this way, and I can also, drag it or crop it, to the top, duplicate, and also bring this side, to the bottom. So there are so many ways you can deal with this, or what you can just simply also do is you can rather add the image also, okay, and crop the image and position the image here, also as simple. So depending on whichever style you want to use, you can just do that. Okay, then I send the image to back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press R again on my keyboard for shape, then I crop the shape to fit the size of the image we have in the background. So okay, so this is the image, sorry, this is the shape. Then I click on colors and I change the color to any color at all. So if it's a purple I want, I change it, and I can also reduce the transparency of it. Then I select both of them, right click and send to back. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing. Just crop the image, okay, and make it big so that we can make our design look interesting. Okay, so we have this handsome guy over here. So I also crop and just crop it to make it clean. Okay, so you can see what we have been able to do right now. The next thing we are going to do is to add some text. Okay, so I click on text, then I click on add a heading. Okay, so after I click on add a heading, I should see some text pop up on my screen, and if it's delaying, you just have to click on it again so that you get it. So I'll just type webinar, okay, over here, webinar. Okay, then select all, and I'll change the typeface of this text I have added. So in my brand kit, I have some uploaded fonts which I'm going to use, and for some time now I've been loving the Champion Gothic font, so that's what I'm going to use for this. And you can use any font of your choice. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be the same. So I position it here, make it big, come to the triple dots and search for position. Okay, so I wanted to center it, but it looks like it's already centered. So now what I'm going to do is I right click on my text, okay, and I send it to the back, and I want the image not image. I want the color of my text to match the color of my background. Okay, so I select all of them, okay, and drop it down just a little bit. Okay, so this is what we have at the moment, and I'm going to add the second text. So I press T on my keyboard for the text, move it to the top over here, and I'm going to use a script font for this one. So there's this font I know which is called Buffalo. Okay, so Buffalo, and we should find it. Okay, so I select my Buffalo font and it will just change what we have over here. Then I can simply say join our, okay, so everything I'm just trying to say is join our webinar. Okay, so I move it down here. Okay, then I'm going to change the color to yellow, because purple usually works well with yellow. Okay, so I'm going to, and if you are wondering how I knew, on the color wheel, it's a complementary color sort of. I think I should make a full video. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to make a video on that. Okay, so now what we have over here, it's cool, it's looking interesting, but we are not done yet. What we are going to do next is to add another text, but with this one I'm going to use a Montserrat. Okay, so I just search for Montserrat or any other sans serif font you want to use. You can just choose it, but I'm going to use Montserrat. Okay, and I would select all my text and I'll just type guest speaker. Okay, GUEST and speaker, SPEAKER. So I select all and I just reduce the size. Okay, so reduce the size and I stretch it out also over here, so you can see what I'm trying to do. Then I position it here and I think I'll reduce the size more. Okay, and align it to the left. Okay, so once I've been able to do that, I just have to make sure everything is looking clean. Okay, so I change the color, no, not to make it bold, but I have to change the color rather to yellow. Okay, and it's looking very light, so I can make it bold. Then I can, duplicate this, make it smaller, and I can see maybe his name is okay, ADRIAN Mills. Okay, so this is a name that came in mind, combination of some people's names I know. So that's what I just did. So I reduce the size and I would position it here. Okay, then so it means that if this is going to be yellow, we can just change this back to white. Okay, so we have something like this. Then the next thing I think is looking too big, so okay, good. So this is how you should be having something like this by now. Then what we are going to do next is to add some extra information. Okay, so I duplicate this, move it here, also making sure everything is aligned properly, and I align this also to the right, and okay, move it in. Okay, so I move it in and I can just say Friday. Okay, Friday, and I can maybe move this to the top a little bit, duplicate this, bring it here, and I can see 25th. Okay, 25th November. What am I doing? Okay, 25th November. I change the alignment to right. Okay, then I add the time just beneath it. Okay, so I can just say 10:00 a.m. Okay, so this is what we have also for this side of it. Okay, so let me align everything nicely. Okay, so I'm just trying to use my arrow keys to make sure everything is looking aligned at the moment. Okay, so now that we have this, what we are going to do next is we are just going to add some few touches to all of what we've done so that it looks more interesting. Okay, so where we go is element. Okay, and in element we are going to search for the U shape. So you can search for U shape over here, or you can simply find it in the line and shape. So click on see all, then you just have to scroll down a little bit till you find this particular shape. And I know for some time now we all have been using this a lot. Okay, so I rotate it to 90 degrees. Okay, then I duplicate the shape and I rotate the duplicated version of the shape to negative 90 degrees. Okay, so just take your time and rotate it, because I know sometimes rotation can be a problem in Canva. So select both of them, bring them down over here. Okay, and I will pull this one out a little bit. Okay, then select both shapes and make them small. Okay, so I move it in and I make it smaller again. So this is what we have at the moment. So drag it out more. Okay, so I think this is looking okay. Then I make it small again. Then I position it here. Okay, then what we are going to do is to save ourselves a lot of time and stress. We'll group, these shapes. Then we can change the colors of both shapes to, let's say, white. Okay, now I know once it's white we can't also see what's behind, so we can also duplicate it and change this to gray. Okay, and the only thing about this is you wouldn't be able to make it blur or anything because it's just shapes. So once you send it behind, you drop it down just a little bit, okay, so that you have something like this. And even with this, you can choose to make it purple. You understand? So click and make it purple so that we can also be having everything matching. You understand? So what I'm simply going to say here is that there is going to be live streaming. So that's what I just want to say. So I click on the colors and I change the color of my fonts to the purple, select all of it, and I can simply say live streaming. Select all, and I would first of all center it. Then I come to spacing. Okay, so in spacing would increase the letter spacing a little bit to something like this. Okay, then I'll just move it here a little bit. Or what you can do is you can also move the text to the side a little bit and have a play button next to it, just to also make it look very interesting. So maybe we should just do that. So I press C on my keyboard, okay, and I reduce this one, and okay, so position it here, select everything you have over here, then I can center it here. Okay, so now that I have this, I can duplicate this one, change the color to white, position it right on top. Okay, so you can see what I have over here as well. But to make it more interesting, I am going to, with the shape I have behind, I'll move it to the right a little bit. Okay, so that we can just see, there's they are all not just together. Or if you want, I think it would simply depend on how you also want it to look like. If you want it to look in a certain way, you can just do that. At this point, you should just feel free and just be creative. Okay, so I would rotate this play button to 90 degrees and I'll change the color to yellow. Okay, then I come here, I reduce the size of this play button or with this triangle and bring it to the top, okay, over here, and reduce it more. And when you are positioning your triangle, don't depend on the grid. Make sure it's looking centered visually. Okay, use your eyes, don't use the grid, because with this it wouldn't look balanced because one side is longer than the other. So we try positioning it using the grid, it wouldn't help you. Okay, so this is what we have at the moment, and I feel I should reduce all of this a little bit and drop it down. Okay, so this is what we have at the moment. So we are going to add some dummy text. So I just copy my dummy text, okay, and I just take what I need. Okay, so I would copy all of this, no, and I'll just take it out, and I'll drag this one, then I reduce it small. Okay, so this is just for maybe some information you would love to add on your design. Okay, this gives you the opportunity to do that. Okay, so I would reduce it a little bit, and just to be sure, I will come to position and center. Okay, then I drop it small. Then what I'm going to do is, with the shape I had behind, I'm going to duplicate it. Okay, and when I duplicate it, I'll bring it to the bottom. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I will reduce the size of it. Okay, something like this, and I would center it. Okay, so once I center it, I can duplicate my text over here. Then I bring it, here, and I can say register. Okay, I know you can't see it, but I'll show you very soon. So then I come to color and I change the color to yellow. Okay, so now this looks very light to me. This font looks very light, and since there's a call to action, you need to make it in a way that it would look bold. Okay, so I change it to Montserrat Classic. Then I turn off the bold. I come to the spacing, and with the letter spacing I will just reduce it to 0. Okay, then I crop my text, come back to position, and make sure your text is centered. Okay, so now it looks like this text is centered, but the shape is not centered. So position and center, then you have something like this. Select the two of them, then you can reduce the size. Okay, then we come to position, and okay, I think the two of them are centered right now. So now that we have this, I think what I'm going to do is I would trim this a little bit. Okay, because the spacing around it is just too much. Then I center. Okay, and this also comes in a little bit. So we have something like this. Then right now, I think the main thing you can also do to make everything look interesting is to add some social media stuff and some your logo and stuff. So I just will choose logo. Okay, so once the logos are loaded, I will just scroll through to find a dummy logo so that we can just use this as an example. Okay, but if in your case you have to just make sure that you are using your client's logo, or if it's your logo, make sure you are using your logo. Don't use any logo from Canva for any commercial stuff, because most of these logos might belong to a company. You may not know, and that's the thing. Okay, so we change the color to purple, and we reduce the size of the logo. Right, so I can just reduce it more. Okay, and I can either decide to position it to the top, and you can see it's too close. So to solve this, I think we would only have to reduce the size of the webinar a little bit. Okay, so that we can have more space over here to work with. Nice one. Okay, then I would duplicate this. Okay, and move it to the top over here, and I can say creative brand, not creative, creative. Okay, then I change the spacing over here to 0 and align it to the left. Okay, so you can see what we have over here, and you can still do more things to this design we have over here. We can duplicate this one. Okay, Then you can just move it here, change the color to purple. Okay, duplicate. Just you can choose to spread it around so that it gives your design, like some cool thing. Okay, so you can rotate this one also. Then what you can even do is you can also arrange them in one line and spread them across. So this is what I want to challenge you to do. I want you to add your contact details, your website, your email at the bottom. And what I will take you through is how to add your social media icons. So we'll click on elements again. Okay. Then we'll just search for Facebook. Okay. So once we see it, we click on Facebook and it should recommend other ones to us. So I go to see all. Then in see all, I just want to make sure anything we are doing is, we just want to be consistent with the design style of the icon. So I choose this one also. Then I want to choose Instagram. But so I choose Instagram also. Then I center all of them. The reason why I'm doing this is so that it's easier for me to select it all. Okay. So I'm just trying to select my icons and it selected all of these things. So I press shift my keyboard and unselect the webinar and unselect the the gentleman we have over here. And I reduce my stuff, my icons. Okay. Then we move it to the top. And if you're trying to reduce the icons and it's still not reducing, just zoom in. Okay. And continue zooming in. Canva can't say no. So we spread it across. Okay. Spread the icons across. Then we select it or come to position and tidy up. Okay, so it will tidy them up nicely for you. Then we just position them here. So what we are going to do is we would have to select them individually. So come to color, change to purple. Choose this purple. Choose this purple. So then you can see that we have everything looking very interesting here. You understand? So this is what I wanted to show you how to create inside of Canva, and I hope you just found it helpful. You found it cool. What I'm just trying to do here is select everything over here, just the two text we have over here, unselect the gentleman and drop them down a little bit. Okay, so that we can also be able to drop all of these things also down a bit so that they are just not too close. Okay, so if it means we have to even reduce the size of this, we just have to do that. Okay, then I come to position and I center it. Okay, so this is what we have at the moment. And yes, the name is Benjamin. And let me know in the comment section if you enjoyed this tutorial. If you want more Canva tutorials, hold on. You see two pop-ups coming on your screen. You can choose either of them to move to a second tutorial to watch. And if you want more of my upcoming tutorials, I would encourage you so much to hit on the subscribe button and the bell icon next to it. The name is Benjamin, and always remember there is no limit to creativity. I will see you.